not sure the full script, but hey everyone, welcome to SIG Testing bi-weekly meeting. The gist is respect each other and be good people and respect the Kubernetes code of conduct. If there's any issues that come up, feel free to reach out to the chairs, Ben the Elder or SpiffXP on GitHub, Aaron. It looks like we don't have a whole lot of topics today. So if we want to discuss Alvaro's discussion, floor is yours, Alvaro.
Yes, it's also just a small point. So we agreed on that we are going to enable the cherry picker plugin for Power, at least for SIG, Kubernetes 6 repos that want it. However, the thing needs a GitHub user, and this GitHub user cannot be the standard CI robot because the CI robot doesn't listen to itself for safety reasons. So my question would be, do we either have another GitHub user already we can use, or if not, what would be the process to get one?
That sounds like a good Aaron question, unfortunately. I feel like we do, but I think Aaron's the one who would know for sure.
Okay, yeah, I'll just ping him then. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I do know how to create a bot, but the problem is I don't really want to create a bot unless we know how to operate a bot. I don't really want to open incognito tab every time and log on as the bot and do some random stuff. I just wish there is a automated way to do all of the bot stuff without human logging as the bot user. For example, GitHub changed my token for a couple of bots that I created before, and I'm so lazy to log on to get the new token and update it everywhere. That's the problem.
Is this an issue for all of them?
Yes, GitHub updated all of the token format. It's nice to swap. It's not necessary at this point, but still, it's a pain. If GitHub ever announced a breaking change, we're going to know where all of our bots live and how to update them and where the tokens are stored. I don't keep track of them. I don't really know where the tokens are. Even if I'm not that lazy, I want to swap them. I don't really know how and where.
Do we have a current process for creating robots that are managed by the community?
I believe so.
Am I hearing you, Alvaro, that that's the kind of robot you're looking for? Something that would be...
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's certainly an Aaron question. I just want to express my 2 cents. So ideally, we shouldn't create new robot if ever possible.
Yeah, in this concrete instance, we cannot avoid it because Power won't listen to itself, so this plugin has to run under a different GitHub user.
Yeah, how about Theta bot?
I'm okay with that. I really don't care which user this thing runs. I'm just not sure if that's generally accepted. Okay, I guess that was my point. I'll probably just reach out to Aaron then.
If that doesn't work, I might suggest either SIG Contravex or the K10 for working group. They might have some contacts as well. I'm certain Aaron will know, but you know, there's a plan B.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I also know Hippie Hacker was just working on a bot to auto create PRs, but I don't know exactly where he found all the resources to set that up.
That we do have a bot, the auto bumper bot. I think that one is pretty lightly used. If you ever want, you can just, I think you can reuse it if you want to.
About the bot, I may have an answer for that. So basically all the bots, the old bot are still managed by SIG testing, and the password for those accounts are still somewhere inside Google. So I asked this question last week during the Kids Info meeting at Aaron, and it's an iteration internally at Google to get the password for a bot they don't use anymore for SIG testing, but it takes some time. So basically what I did is just create a new bot for the pro staging instance. So you can do that, like create a new bot, but I would defer to Aaron for this decision.
Yeah, I guess I would prefer to first ask because a new bot would at least also mean it needs to be member of the Kubernetes GitHub org, and I don't want that to become then a follow-up issue. So I think just asking might be better.
Not necessarily, because you can just create a mailing list and we set up a group of persons enable to manage the bot if you want.
Do you have a link to something of this, maybe?
No, I didn't find any documentation on the KK repo or maybe the community repo. So it's kind of bad use case.
Okay.
But I would suggest, if you want to create a new bot, is just add a new mailing list in the Kubernetes case.i repo, and you can go from there.
Okay.
So let me give you the link.
I have created bots not directly related to the K8s community, and I've had a lot of success with creating a GitHub account that forwards to a mailing list as well. But again, that's if you want to or end up creating a new one.
Yeah.
You can probably short circuit this because Aaron just joined. Aaron, you might be the person who can answer the question of I need a GitHub bot for the cherry picker plugin, which cannot be the CI robot itself because Power refuses to listen to itself. What's the best way to do that? Or do we have an existing one, maybe?
So a long time ago, I renamed the K8s merge robot account that was used by the submit queue to K8s GitHub robot, with the intent of using that for GitHub related things like Parabolus and label sync, and cherry pick could be another good one. But I can't seem to find the login and password for this account. So like you could get somebody from Test Infra on call, like Chow or Sean, to like get the token out of the Test Infra cluster, or like you could use that token because it's in the Test Infra cluster, but I'm wary of like not having the login or password for that.
Well, if there's an existing secret, that's perfect because the cherry picker will just get deployed into the cluster, so that should work fine.
Yeah, so you can try that, and I can work to see if I can get the credentials for that offline. If that doesn't work, the thing that Arnaud and I are trying to work on for the K8s InfraProw instance, we set up a Google group under Kubernetes.io. We're using that email address as the email address for the bot account so that multiple people will have access to it. So my vote would be try try using the existing, it's either called Kate's merge robot or Kate's GitHub robot, the secret in the Prow cluster. Test info on call will be able to tell you. And if that doesn't work, get back to me.
Do you mean Kate's CI robot?
No, I do not mean Kate's CI robot. I mean something else.
Okay, yeah, that's not perfect. There's already an open pull request for the whole cherry picker. The only open point was this question of what secret do we use because we cannot use the CI robot.
Right.
Thanks.
Sorry for being late, y'all. I personally didn't have anything else for the agenda for what it's worth. Did anybody else have anything they specifically wanted to talk? I'll let Grant continue running the meeting because Grant put himself as host. Thank you so much, Grant. I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, there was nothing on the agenda that we had prior, so Alvaro's discussion point was really our only thing. Do you know of any docs on how to set up a robot or how to get access to the robots? I was looking for them, but I couldn't find anything.
I'm going to defer to test info on call again. There are instructions in the Prow setup instructions for like how you could go about creating your own GitHub robot account. But we don't have a doc as a Kubernetes community on like what our best practices and policies and procedures are for GitHub bot accounts. I think we could use some help on that. Like I said, I think Arnaud and I had a chat with like the GitHub management folks, and their request was like use a Kubernetes.io group as the login for the account, and then we could like store the password in Google Secret Manager, where we already have like GitOps driven config changes for who is allowed to access that, and maybe go from there. And ideally, maybe this is a good question for the cherry picker robot. Do you need like org owner privileges, or could you get away with less?
It literally doesn't need anything at all. It just like creates a fork under its own user, pushes to a branch there, creates a pull request. So it doesn't need anything at all.
Huh. Yeah, it could be Fedabot. That's true. Sorry, I just saw
I'm
that.
perfectly cool with Fedabot too. It just might confuse maybe, but I really don't care.
That actually makes me feel like you can use the auto bumper bot because that's also what it does. Let me see what's the name of the bot. Oh, it actually uses Case CI robot. No, wait. I think it's Case CI robot. That's weird. It shouldn't be.
I don't know. I don't have kubectl on this laptop, apparently. That's interesting. Does anybody have access to the cluster? I mean, we could hash this out real quick. See what secrets are available on the test info cluster. Maybe figure out what tokens are available to us.
So what we're looking for?
Is there a secret name that sounds like it's a token for something other than Kate's CI robot in the cluster?
In which cluster? In Prow?
Yeah, the Prow service cluster.
Let me see. Nothing look like that. At least not in the default namespace.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope.
I'm looking. Sorry, I don't feel like this is maybe the most productive use of our, okay. There's something called triage bot token in the test pods namespace. If you could, that was intended to replace FetaBot, as I recall. Don't know why it's not in Kate's proud builds. Anyway, I feel like I can work offline with the test info call on-call folks to see if we can find the login and password or go through the recovery flow for the Kate's GitHub robot. In terms of names, that would be my preferred account. If not, I'll take a look at maybe reusing I'll take a look at just setting up a new account for you. Why not? Something to be aware of, I'll check in with the other GitHub admins. I believe that like GitHub is very aware of Prow and the bot accounts that it uses and has lifted like internal bad behavior detection, I guess. So like the Kate CI robot account gets away with a lot more than like any old bot account I went and set up as a user. Technically, bot accounts are against the TOS of GitHub's, they're against GitHub's TOS, but they kind of look the other way as long as you're not doing something too egregious. So as long as you don't think the cherry pick plugin is going to do anything too crazy, we can probably set up any old bot account.
Yeah, I actually think that's more about Power having a lot of very specific handling for abuse limits and very smart retrying. But the cherry picker it's very, very simple, does very few API requests. That shouldn't be an issue at all.
Okay. Yeah, let me ping you in Slack once I've got either the login credentials for the GitHub bot account, or I'll go ahead and create a new one.
Awesome, thank you.
Anything else? Sorry, back to Grant to ask for anything else.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I'm maintaining the reins, but yeah, if nobody else has any other points, I guess we can call it early.
I'd like to circle back on the topic that I presented last time, the Kubernetes external secret manager. It had moved faster than I had expected, and we have started using it on Google internal Prow and also Case Prow, and actually I got a feature request from Case Prow build cluster that they want to use this feature. So I think it's, as far as I can tell, it's pretty promising, and it certainly can save the testing for on-call several hours of rotating secret for clients. And clients are also pretty happy to self-service the secret rotation. So it seems like it's a win-win situation. And I have a PR enabling that for build cluster. And if anyone has a chance, please take a look.
That sounds awesome. I will get to it if I have time.
Yeah, awesome. I also figured it's pretty awesome that it can also help us on some other cases. Like this morning, I realized it can also help us automatically deploy the monitoring stack, because it used to be we still have a last step of manual replacing plain secret value in the YAML file before deploy. And it can actually be solved by the entire secret management stuff. It's pretty awesome to use. So yeah, I would promote the usage of Kubernetes external secret manager.
Which PR do you have out?
Sorry, I have 2 PRs up. I can send the link here.
I guess, would you like them linked in the notes?
Yeah. Let me put it here.
Okay. So I fell way behind on what I had planned on doing for this week, which was to try and like walk us through what we want our plans to be for the V122 Kubernetes release cycle. I don't know about y'all, but I have like 5 or 6 different ways of attempting to plan for the quarter, and I'm trying to reconcile them all. So maybe I'll do that next time. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I'm out of ideas. I think I'd much rather stop holding you all hostage if nobody has anything else.
Oh, sorry. You guys probably have already seen the announcement. The case pro automatic deployment was done and it's been working pretty well. Again, I'd like to thank Aaron for all of the code reviews and help on the CAP, and Alvaro for the technical guidance.
Yeah, thanks a bunch for pushing forward on that. Yeah, it's really cool that it just kind of works.
Yep.
I was thinking about maybe leveraging the same sort of stuff to set up some auto deploy jobs for Kate's infra stuff. Mostly just the Kate's infra prow build clusters, but it could be we get to a point where some of the other applications like Slack infra and triage party and whatnot could also be just auto merged and auto deployed.
I totally like the idea. We do have plan to replicate this on the other prod that we support.
I have a pull request for that really.
Oh, awesome.
Assigned to you, Aaron. So.
Okay. I will get to it as I am able.
That's awesome.
Okay, up to you, Grant.
Thanks, Aaron. Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for coming by. Yeah, I guess we'll give everyone else half the meeting back.
Thank you, Grant.
Thanks. Bye.
Well, for your time. Happy Tuesday.
Thank you.